Buongiorno, buonasera, benvenuti amici. Welcome, my friends. My name is Vincenzo, and welcome to my channel, Fountain Pen Therapy. It's a cool morning here on Thanksgiving Day in Montreal, Canada. It looks like our weather is finally turned. We had a real warm spell several days ago, but now we're in a tailspin here. There's nothing but rain and cool temperatures, a little bit. Autumn is settling in. I can tell on my golf course the leaves are becoming a problem. The winter slowly but surely will hit us all. And in the meantime, this morning, I thought that I would go back to the series of pens that I purchased lately. Another HONGDIAN gem, in my opinion, and it's a resin pen, not a metal pen that one would expect or expected in the past from a company like HONGDIAN. And this time it's the HONGDIAN N9. I like this color. It's kind of burgundy with these gold accents. I would say a small to medium-sized torpedo-shaped pen, but we will take a closer look at it. I think it's a fine writing instrument, and inexpensive, and that deserves a look. So let's see if we conclude that this pen is worth our while. Stay tuned. So here, introducing the N9, HONGDIAN N9. As you can see, it's a classical shaped, or a classic torpedo shaped pen with a gold clip and a gold band, and we'll take a look at that band in a second. It's got some very interesting, in my view, some very interesting chatoyancy there. You could see on one side of that cap, and especially on one side of that of the barrel. Let me just see if I can throw some light on it, whether or not. You could see that it's nice, sparkly chatoyancy. The sparkles are even better when you can see in some of this, some of this light. I like that deep purple or deep violet burgundy color. It gives it a very elegant and rich look, if you will. There you go. And if I could, just give me a second, be patient with me. I'm going to try to focus in on the band. Okay, we're back. Just for a few seconds before this camera doesn't cooperate. I really like the way they, and I apologize for the sound, I'm far away from my microphone, but it's the HONGDIAN N9. Look at the way they inscribe that on this band. It's got some very decorative scrolling and engraving there. 3D-ish, if you will. I think that band is just a very, very nice touch from HONGDIAN. So there you have it. I hope you appreciated that. Okay, I'm back downstairs. I was standing up there and trying to focus in on the camera. So that's the outside. Now let's try to see on the interior. That's one. So it's one turn. Okay, very nice for those who appreciate that. You can see there's nothing spectacular about the interior. There is one ring there. It's like I mentioned, it's on the smallish side. It's thin as well. It doesn't have girth. For those of you who like bigger pens, you might find this a little too small, but it's very comfortable. The threads are there's a little step down here, a little sharp, but nothing that would prevent you from using this pen, for long sessions. Very nice. Okay, well finished. A little bit of a flare here, which is nice. And that nib, there's a rabbit on it, and it's an HONGDIAN, and it's a long blade, but it's a medium. So this is not a long blade architect nib, thank goodness. And it just, I've tested it. This one I've tested. I think I'm looking forward to the writing sample so we can share what I've already seen from this nib. So there you go, nice feed, chunky feed there, and that's the long blade nib. It is not a piston filler, it is a cartridge converter. There you have a nice converter, good quality converter with the HONGDIAN name branding on it. So even the, even this converter, it's just good quality. Okay, there's a steel part there, so obviously this thing cannot be high dropped. Okay, now does it post? I find that in order to post it, you got to kind of really make sure it's inserted properly. But once you do, it's very nice. It stays, I think, with a little bit of effort, and it makes the pen, in my view, a little more interesting. It gives it a little more weight, and it sits there really nice. So very nice. Like I said, it's not the greatest. You have to kind of really push it in order for it to kind of stay there. But it works. The clip, well, it's, the regular HONGDIAN clips, which are always stiff but very functional. Very nice shape, well made. Okay, so there you have the pen. I think it's an extremely elegant addition. Nice resin, and we can do some comparisons. Right, why don't we do that? Let's take out the comparison pens that I've chosen for this video. I'll lay them all out. We'll put my N9 in the middle there. I just push the pens along so we can get a better look. So there you have. That's my Asvine V126, which is, I think, the biggest of the lot. The next one is a Pen BBS 480 in Galaxy, which is a very nice pen, and which I think is very similar, although the torpedo points are a lot more pointed. There is my Pilot Metropolitan. There's the N9. This is my Pen BBS 266, which is a little girthier, but, and a little bit longer. And then we've got my Pen BBS 486 Silence, which I think is slightly longer and much girthier than, but it gives you an idea of where this pen is situated in terms of, especially when you compare it to the popular Pilot Metropolitan. You see it's on the smallish, medium-sized pen. There you have it. We'll be back with a posted comparison. Okay, so here you see the posted comparison. I think when it's posted, it rivals with most of them. Much bigger than the Metropolitan, as you can see there. It's slightly smaller than my 486 here at the end, but I got to tell you, the 486 is not the greatest posting or postable pen. It just sits there at the top. That explains why maybe it's a little longer. But in terms of size, it kind of rivals, if you will, the Asvine. So that's why I say that posted, this pen, I think, it's a nice size and very, very, very usable. There you have it. We'll be back with an uncapped comparison. Okay, uncapped. Yeah, uncapped, this is where the N9 kind of fizzles out a little bit. That's why I'm saying that I think that pen is probably much better when it's posted. It gives it a nice balance. And as you can see, I think that overall, the conclusion is that the N9 is probably the smallest in the lot here that you see. But it does give you an idea of where it stands in terms of comparisons. Good. We'll give you some measurements and proceed to the writing sample. I'm excited about that writing sample. I think we've chosen a beautiful ink, and hopefully it'll all come through. Be right back. So for the writing sample, I've chosen the Kaweco Red Ruby. Here it is. Beautiful, just a very beautiful red red on purple, if you will, color, or a ruby color. That's what it is. Very, very sharp. It's quickly become one of my favorite red inks, if you will. So I thought we could put it in this burgundy pen and would be a very nice match, especially with that chatoyancy. Okay, so that's the ink. And the journal for today is going to be my Tomoe River Sake TP 52 gram paper. There we go. Now, this pen has gone through a little bit of exercise, uncapping, capping, and uncapping. Hopefully it will not hard start on me, and it won't disappoint me, and won't disappoint you. And we can get to it and see if that nib is as juicy as it was when I first tested it. Okay, my camera is not cooperating, but there we go. So this is the, oh yeah, HONGDIAN N9. I call it the burgundy. I don't know how it's referred to on the websites, but to me it is a burgundy. Okay, the nib on this pen is a HONGDIAN long blade steel medium nib. Juicy medium, I can tell you, folks. Okay, number 6. Well, number 6, it's a long blade, because I think I've read somewhere that, and I actually, I always meant to measure them, but I haven't, that some of these HONGDIAN long blade nibs are actually a little bit longer than the normal size number 6, but I've really never measured them. They certainly don't look, if they are, they don't look too much bigger. The ink, as I mentioned today, is the Kaweco Ruby Red. And so far, this pen is just, or this nib, is just immaculate. I gotta tell you. Let's just do, show you very little line variation. Just an absolute gusher. And with this ink, perfect combination, folks. So most constant. The lines are thick and juicy. I gotta tell you, I'm really, really pleased. You know, it makes me want to write with a medium nib, which, as you know, is not among my favorite sizes. But this one is almost like a broad. Very, very, very nice. Fast writing. Just smooth as butter, folks. That hint of feedback you hear is just a paper. I've got to tell you. So it's extremely buttery smooth. I want to emphasize that just to make sure you understand how smooth it is. Very wet. Okay, and very constant. Just very, very nice nib. Not disappointed in the least. Very, very nice. Now, my rating of this pen. Design. Well, folks, you know, it's a cartridge converter, classic torpedo. That band, in and of itself, I think deserves some praise. Very nice. But, you know, in all fairness, I can't give it more than an 8.5. There's really not much originality to this pen. But the build quality, on the other hand, with a nice converter, you know, well made. The resin's got that interesting chatoyancy. you know, I got to give it a 9.5 in build. And I really can't find anything wrong with it, but there we go. Okay. The nib, well, it's a 10 on 10. Just, if I can get my hands on more of these nibs, and I've really got to look for them, and I believe they do sell HONGDIAN nibs separately, but I'm not sure they have this one. It's got kind of a little rabbit on it. If anybody out there from my viewers knows where I can get my hands on nibs like this, please let me know. I'm going to jump on them immediately. That's the nib. Now, in terms of value, I believe that this pen on Etsy was $38 with the ordinary nibs and $42 and, you know, a few cents with this long blade. And for the $4 Canadian, which is, you know, even less American, obviously at almost 1.5, 1.6 click there, I would get the long blade medium nib, unless you really like extra fine and fine. Go-to, absolutely, 10 on 10. It's become a go-to pen. This, just because I think this nib, in all honesty, when you take a look at the overall performance here, it's a broad nib, folks. It's a broad nib, or a very juicy medium. So there you have it, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. I really wanted to share this pen with you. I know it's not, you know, the most extravagant, but it's a classic looking pen. It's a nice pen that you could take and travel with. Like I said, these $40 pens, if you travel and you lose them, or somehow damage, or you know, you're not losing a Montblanc 149. You know, you can replace them at very little cost, and it won't you know, break your heart. And it just, in terms of writing in a journal, it's just notes. Really, really nice. Really nice. So I can't say enough about this pen. Thank you very much. There you have it. I hope you enjoyed that. Take care, folks. We'll see you soon.